Talisman, the Magical Quest game, now enjoying its 5th edition, has proven that it doesn't need expansions to thrive at the table. The game is already great, it's already fundamental and complete. It is a solid board game with solid mechanics. But since its inception, Talisman has been expansion heavy. By grand design, there have always been multitudes of options to fundamentally change the game, whether it's adding to the map by implementing corner expansions, which depending on the size of your table may not be a good idea. This game has sold entire tables, I'm just saying. Or sprinkling in a little werewolf or a grim reaper to stalk you around the board, just as a little treat. There have always been many ways to play Talisman. You could even send your adventurers through a timescape with a chainsaw warrior. That's a thing, right? I'm pretty sure that's not a joke. In beginning this video, I realized once again, because I do keep forgetting, that I don't have Talisman Nemesis. I just keep forgetting to get it. I don't have it, I keep forgetting it. Avalon Hill continues to innovate for the games that they adapt and bring into the modern, accessible world. Not merely content with readapting the old, even though a lot of us wish that they would. Come on, Avalon Hill, we need cards that are compatible with our pre-existing boards from 4th edition. The team has developed entirely new subtitled expansions like Alliances, Nemesis, and now even Sagas. And you'll notice the subtitle of the expansion is not the title of the expansion, or I guess these could be vice versa. I don't want to split hairs over terminology. Talisman Alliances, having the Fate Beckons subtitle, implies that there could be more Talisman Alliances expansions in the future. Talisman Nemesis, which this is where it would be if I had one, has a subtitle that implies there could be more Talisman Nemesises in the future. And that trend, perhaps awkwardly, perhaps fascinatingly, but astonishingly, continues with Talisman Sagas, Crown of Blood, the newest small box expansion encroaching on your Talisman table. Is this exactly 50%? No. Really? This is gonna drive me insane. They are already shorter than the core box. I can feel it. I can feel the fury of Dracula. Somebody at Avalon Hill was on a total Dracula kick. This year, we've got the Talisman Sagas Crown of Blood expansion, and we've got a remake of 1980-something's Fury of Dracula from Games Workshop. I would expect to see both of these at our upcoming Gen Con here in the States. Face off against the fury of Dracula. And we will, but I'm gonna need you to hold that thought right now, Dracula, or maybe that's Renfield talking to us. In fact, face off against the fury of Dracula. A little added cringe for your day. I do want to thank Avalon Hill for sending me Talisman Sagas. Thank you so much, Avalon Hill. Dracula and his minions have permeated the world of Talisman. Vampire slayers Mina Harker and Van Helsing are determined to dispatch the Count once and for all. 2 worlds meld in this premium expansion, blurring lines and signaling something ominous on the horizon. There's not a whole lot in this box, but for a Talisman player, you don't need a lot to make a lot. Could have figured out a way to phrase that differently. Sagas means gameplay mode, and a mode expansion really doesn't have to be a whole lot to fundamentally change the entire way that you play the game. We have our manual, which is, it's gotta be tall, skinny and tall like the box. We've got Death rolling some dice here, designed by John Goodenough. Artwork continuing to be by Yellowfly, the agency that produced the artwork for the base game. Keeping things visually consistent, the Count has a new castle. Across the realm, chilling portents abound of Dark Liege's ascension to power. The name of the self-proclaimed ruler of the night has traveled in whispers and screams. Count Dracula. His followers have seized the crown of command, erecting a foreboding-spired fortress and launching assaults in every corner of the world. Undead monsters stalk through the night, abducting influential figures and humble serfs without discrimination to sate their taste for blood. But the people have not been complacent. Despite their valiant efforts to hunt this foul new order, few have been successful in killing the Count's minions, and the Count himself, invincible, or so it seems. Meanwhile, Mina Harker dwells a dimension away in England. She awakens in a cold sweat. Was it a dream or a vision in which she saw Count Dracula plaguing yet another world? She leaves her sleeping husband and child with a hastily scrawled note, dons her cloak, and calls on her former companion, Abraham Van Helsing. Van Helsing encourages her to follow the call of her vision, and together they are guided to the crypt of Lucy, Westenra. The sight they behold in front of the crypt's door is one out of storybooks. An iridescent triangular portal with an inviting aura sheds light upon their faces. Mina stares at the sound of her deceased friend Lucy's voice in her mind. Go, Lucy whispers. You're the one they need. Go or all will be lost. After exchanging apprehensive glances with Van Helsing, Mina reaches for his hand, and together they take their first steps into a world unknown. Why do you gotta drag my girl Lucy into this? She didn't do anything wrong. This is the centerpiece. The very center of the board typically has the Elder Dragon, a monster that you'll fight with a strength of 10 and a craft of 10. It's the challenger's choice. You can attack with strength or craft. This, being Dracula's castle, will replace that, and there is only a strength of 8 and a craft of 8, which immediately makes you think, oh no, there's a catch. When attacking Dracula, if you have suffered blood loss, add its value to his attack. It is packaged for some reason. I'm going to have to carefully remove that later, but here's what it's going to look like fitted onto the center part of the board. It is actually just a couple, maybe 1 millimeter, maybe 2 millimeters smaller than the actual tile, even when you account for the white space around it. Visually, it fits very well, and the reason that I think that this expansion is just fine thematically, even if Dracula feels a little bit IP odorous, that's a very unfortunate phrase. Hold on a second. Intellectual property is what I mean by that. It has the odor of intellectual property. I really don't worry, we're very safely doing this off camera. But you need not worry about intellectual property and copyright and all that. Dracula's been in the public domain for a long time. The concept of Dracula is really boss when it's handled right. This may be just a matter of preference. I don't think it fits perfectly, but I don't think it doesn't fit egregiously. Things I really like about this tile, it was definitely designed for this exact spot on the board. We have the artwork encroaching from the Valley of Fire, just like it does on the normal dragon tile. All of the art is continuous from the other tiles as necessary. The castle itself does not look out of place. It is almost immediately recognizable because you have this giant sort of Gothic architecture, very foreboding, bats in the distance. Enough of us have played Castlevania, which is one of the more boss ways to handle Dracula, and if we imagine that this is sort of that same Dracula, it becomes a much more believable and fun experience because that Dracula just returns on the night of a full moon every years and has complete and total command over an entire dominion of demons and monsters. Even Death himself is hanging out at Dracula's castle in that lore, and the Belmonts and the Harkers have got to go stomp him into the ground every few length of time here. It's not just a centerpiece and a manual. We have character cards because you can literally be the investigator Mina Harker and the Professor Van Helsing. That's not all. You can also be the Vampire King Dracula. There is a Dracula reference card. With lore on one side, Dracula has discovered a way to move his castle through time and space by drawing on the magical essence of the worlds he infiltrates. His keep now sits upon the center place of power in the Talisman world, making him and his allies stronger than ever. We need a Belmont in here stat. Nevertheless, his plan is not without folly. The castle is intrinsically linked to his state of being. If he lives, so too does the castle, but should he fall, it will crumble to dust, ending his reign of blood. When Dracula lands on your space in the outer and middle regions, roll 1 die to see what happens. If you roll, lose 1 life and roll for this card again. If you roll a 1, a 2, lose 1 of your followers. They just get killed at random. If you have no followers, you'll lose a life. On a 3, you'll lose a life. 1 follower of your choice is killed. Discard 1 spell or discard 1 trophy. On a 4, Dracula attacks you with a craft of 9. If you defeat him, gain 1 craft. On a 5, Dracula attacks you with a strength of 9. If you defeat him, gain 1 strength. And on a 6, Dracula teleports to another character of your choice in any region who must immediately roll 1 die for this card. Really fun situation to happen is if you roll a 6, you send Dracula to your buddy, he rolls a 6, and he sends him back to you, thus playing Dracula Ping Pong. Those are our 3 character cards and our reference card. I know you want to see the miniatures. I want to see the miniatures too. Talisman's miniatures have been a great source of joy for me because they are so close to the HeroQuest miniatures. And the universes don't really seem that far apart. I mean, we are introducing Dracula now, but you can have a vampire in your games that have this similar style of miniature, this similar aesthetic. Speak, Ash. Use the English language. It is at your command. Apparently not. Dynamic pose. Very threatening. Kind of hard to make a miniature with such a massive encroaching cape seem so dynamic and cool, but I think that they pulled it off with this one without having the cape be like all batty and everywhere else. It actually looks like a very heavy cloak. I like that a lot. Don't know about the clothes of the miniature underneath the cape, but the cape looks so cool. Cloak is awesome. Cape, cloak, cape, cowl, cape. I just can't stop saying cape. This is Mina Harker. and she looks like she'd be right at home at Arkham, ripped straight out of the Mansions of Madness. She has a gun and a lantern and a pleated skirt with a very smart top, very long scarf. The sculpt is simple, but the details are all there. It's a good sculpt. I like it. This is Van Helsing. He is reading from a book, or so he would have you believe. The book is completely blank. There's nothing on there at all. What are you doing, Van? I guess that's why they call you Helsing and not Hell Read. This is a good thing because it means if you are an avid painter, you can put all manner of monstrosity on these pages. Some arcane symbols, some lines of text, a tiny picture of Mina Harker. I'm just reading it for the articles. He's got a pouch. He's also smartly dressed, a knife, glasses, Einstein hair. The sculpt is good. The sculpt is good. I think this is going to be everybody's favorite, though. I don't think that any of the sculpts here are going to be a close second to this one. This is the Vampire Toad. I think we love him. I think we would die for this little toad. Now we have a toad with at least one of the other expansions. I forget what comes with Nemesis. Just like I forget that Nemesis exists. That's not a crack on Nemesis. That's my fault. That's my bad. I need to get Talisman Nemesis, like after I get done filming. All of these miniatures have got the same bases and style and aesthetic and everything else as the HeroQuest ones, so they will translate perfectly to your HQ game should you wish to use them there. That's not their intention. That's not, well, maybe it is actually. I don't know how much of a coincidence it is that all of these game elements are so nicely sized, allowing you to unofficially really homebrew some cool stuff using components that seem like they're meant for the game. We've got some spell cards, we've got some event cards, adventure cards. This time around, we've got the Dubious Merchant, the Black Gate, really like that, the Enchanted Basin, the Soul Drinker, the Holy Water, the Haunted Ogler. I really, really like that. That's a magic object. No good character may have the Haunted Ogler. When you engage an enemy in psychic combat, make your attack roll. You may then discard this card to automatically win regardless of your attack score. That's cool. You get to roll first and then see if you want to use the Haunted Ogler to just win. The Crystal Ball, the Prayer Book, the Bloodstone, the Assistant, the Cloaked Innocent. Oh, she's cool. Wait a minute. Daybreak. This is an event that is ongoing. Interesting. Nightfall. This is an event that is ongoing. These remain in play until the next event is drawn. Full Moon. Very cool. These change the game. They change the states, the attributes of the turn. Nocturnal Thirst, an event that's ongoing. Frenzied Hunt, ongoing event. Nice. And they go right into... that's cool. That is really cool. Really, really cool. I am never sure what to expect when I unwrap a pack of Talisman cards, but it wasn't that, and that is awesome. That's a whole new category of card, unless they were in Nemesis. I don't know. Herd Thinner. That's an enemy monster. The Disquieted Mob. The Revenant Knight. The Homely Tomcat, an enemy spirit. If you are defeated by the Homely Tomcat, look, that's just take it by default as you are defeated. Don't fight the cat. Don't fight the cat. The Brides of Dracula. I'm so glad they made the cut. And the Necromancer. Oh, there's one more. The Vampire Prince. It's got a craft of 9, enemy spirit. It's not Dracula himself. The Nightcap, the Immortal Awakening, the Exorcism, the Animate Dead, the Devour Life Force, the Dice with Death, and the Tap Source. Spell cards, add to your experience, giving you many more ways to spell your opponent's doom. I think we'd like to know a little bit more about the mechanics of this. What's different about Talisman Sagas, Crown of Blood? Why are you asking me? You will add 23 Dracula-themed adventure cards and 7 spell cards to the base Talisman 5th edition decks, keeping your journey fresh and horror-fueled. You will add 5 ongoing events cards to the base adventure deck. Once you place an ongoing event card on the board, discard it only when a new event or ongoing event has been drawn and placed. Mina Harker and Van Helsing are now playable characters. You may now use the alternate ending, Dracula's Castle, a board overlay that covers the Crown of Command space. Dracula is the antagonist, ever present on the game board. When you roll a 1, you'll be able to move him and interact with other players. Oh, so he's kind of like the werewolf and death characters. There are probably others. I have Talisman 4th edition, but I actually don't know which characters are able to stalk the board. It's like Batman from the Batman version of Talisman. Batman, Dracula, same thing. He is a Batman. Dracula can be used as a playable character unless the alternate ending Dracula's Castle is on the board. I knew it. So, bam. I don't see what difference it makes. It's like lore breaky to play as the character and then fight yourself as the boss, but you could still do it. You could absolutely just play with this castle on the board Maybe you could be like, there's a fake who has taken over my castle. Blah, blah. You must help me. We must go to my castle and reclaim it. The Fanged Toad offers an alternate form of gameplay in which the Toad takes Dracula's place as the antagonist. This allows you to use Count Dracula as a playable... Oh, okay, so they already thought of this. So this is the vampiric foe moving around the board if you want to play this mode and you want a player to be able to play as Count Dracula. Now the Fanged Toad is our enemy. They thought of this. That's great. The win conditions are pretty much the same. You can move Dracula and counter Dracula using Fate with Dracula, and there are ongoing events. There is blood loss. If you have less life than your starting value, you have suffered blood loss. Your blood loss value is determined by subtracting your current life from your starting life. When you face off against Dracula, your blood loss value will be added to his attack. So if you have basically if you're hurt at all, you've got blood loss. What if somebody just bludgeoned my face really hard and I didn't lose any blood, but I'm bruised? The game ends when a player reaches Dracula's castle in the center and defeats Dracula. Dracula as a character is an alternate way to play, so is Fanged Toad. You cannot cross the portal of power with the Fanged Toad. Oh, spoiler ahead. We have the ending. We have the ending in the book that we can read. And it's not the same as the ending to Dracula, the book or movies or anything, because this is the new Dracula, the one taking place in the world of Talisman. I think Talisman, and you'll have to let me know absolutely if you disagree, this is just the impression that I get. I don't think that it would be a big deal to add characters from these legendary, sort of open to interpretation, unlicensable IPs, because I think there's a way to convert public domain characters from fantasy and horror into the Talisman universe, while still keeping things congruent. Dracula kind of feels like he could fit here, not forever, maybe just once every few games. The event cards are awesome. That's a mainstay that I hope continues on with future games. I almost kind of wish event cards were in the base game, but I do feel at best that they are kept optional. The expansion availability window is middle to end of June. I would start checking places for pre-order right away, whether that's your friendly local game store or one of the big box evil entities. Could it be that when you align the boxes to the left, the Talisman logo is centered? That would be cool. It's barely off. I'm gonna lose my mind. And the third box doesn't even have it. You'd have to flip it upside down. I guess I have to create my own pyramid. Thank you again to Avalon Hill for sending me this fine gift, and thank you all so much for your kind attention. You'll have to let me know, what do you think about Dracula making an appearance in Talisman? Would you like to see more things like this? Maybe Sherlock Holmes, maybe the Gentleman Thief Lupin. Personally, I think this could open the door for a myriad of villains and heroes from various H.P. Lovecraft works. Who would not want some great old ones, or some avatars of some great old ones, if we're being honest, moving around the board? Or Charles Dexter Ward, Dr. Willard, I think I got his name wrong, or Lavinia. Pretty sure there's a Dr. Seward. And just think of the miniature's potential. Think of the compatibility. Hold on, let me open my window and see what everybody's saying. What's that? We won the corner expansions? Yep, they're still on about that. So yeah, the corner expansions, please, whenever you get a chance, please, Avalon Hill. So we're not like in any serious rush or anything. We're not going anywhere. Alternatively, just packs of cards. Just the packs of cards from those expansions so that we can bring our own from the 4th edition. That would be fine. I think that would be acceptable. More than acceptable. Maybe? I want to hear those comments too, down below. That's all for now, brave heroes. I bid you a fantastic rest of your day, and farewell for now. Onward.